The geography of the current conflict has shifted. Iranian strikes are no longer focused exclusively on military assets. They are targeting the physical foundation of the global economy, the energy infrastructure of the Gulf Cooperation Council. This is a direct hit on the world's life support. Qatar alone handles 20% of the global liquefied natural gas supply. When that infrastructure burns, it doesn't just affect a region, it halts the factories and shipping lanes that the modern world relies on for survival. This strategy extends to maritime choke points. By activating proxy blockades at these narrow corridors, the conflict can effectively isolate the Gulf from the rest of the planet, forcing energy-dependent nations like South Korea and Japan to choose between total economic collapse or direct military intervention. On the ground, the room for diplomacy has vanished. The recent assassination of pragmatic figures like Ali Larijani has removed the primary off-ramps for negotiation. Both sides are now pursuing maximalist objectives, seeking the total destruction of their opponent's capacity to function as a state. Viewing this as a regional border dispute ignores the broader pattern. This is a calculated attempt to dismantle the global economic order. To see why these nations are willing to risk everything, we have to look past the external war and examine the fractures inside them. Human behavior is governed by the law of proximity. In any conflict, the game closest to you, the one affecting your immediate survival, will always dictate your decisions more than a distant objective. This explains why both American political parties support the war for completely opposite reasons. Democrats see the economic fallout as a tool to make rivals unpopular. Republicans see wartime as necessary to invoke emergency powers and consolidate domestic control. Below the partisan surface, a structural war rages between two American elite factions. One is the legacy Wall Street establishment, relying on the global order. Both the financial and tech elites sit on massive private credit and AI bubbles. As the energy crisis chokes off capital, both will burst, leaving a single limited government bailout. Control of Washington determines which faction receives that bailout and survives. Before the first missile fired, Israel was paralyzed by internal conflict. Massive crowds demanded the government's removal, exposing a nation deeply divided against itself. This division is a conflict of two incompatible souls. Tel Aviv represents the secular, cosmopolitan ambition of a high-tech empire, prioritizing Western material progress. Jerusalem is the opposite, inward-looking, traditional, and theocratic. For this faction, the nation's value isn't GDP or tech, but absolute adherence to divine law. The religious zealots in Jerusalem view the secular world as the animal soul,